welcome back to Paces and Practice in Programming. In this class, we are going to talk about a new topic, somehow new and old at the same time. We will talk about strings, but we will try to extend our knowledge about strings and the capabilities of C programming language to handle those string variables. So the outline of the lecture will be as follows. We will try to explain how C language handle string as an array of characters, and then we will see some different definitions of a string, how we can define strings in different way. Also mainly we will try to talk today about how we can define a string using pointer. So maybe we learned pointer before. We will see how we can define a string using pointer. Okay, and then we will see several functions for input, output, and processing strings from the libraries inside C programming language. So let's start. I think most of you are familiar with C string. How we said before that string is just array of characters, and each string will be ended by the null characters, which we know here. So when we create any string or define any string, like for example character name 20, this is the size of the string, and in this case it's like array, and then this array will be terminated by the null character here. So this null character will be very important to terminate that this is the end of the string. And it will be very important later when we are trying to use some functions from the libraries inside C programming, and those functions just process the string based on this null character here. If this null character exists, that means it will tell the function that this is the end of the string. Okay, so this is how we can handle any string. So what we are going to learn today is how we can define a string in different way. We define a string using pointer, and this is somehow intuitive if we explain this one before. As you know, array of characters, the name of the array, any array of characters or array of integers or any kind of array, the name of the array is a pointer. This is what we learned last time. So in this class today, we say, okay, how about we remove this annotation of the name of the array and replace this one with a pointer, real pointer. Okay, is it possible? Yes, the answer is yes. We can define the array using this way, and both of them are equal definition. So in the first one, you will define array, and the array in the memory will be like this. So the array will be now is the time, and then there will be null character to terminate the array. And in the case of creating pointer, in this case, there will be a pointer, and that pointer will point to the beginning of the array. And it will be the same thing because the name of the array itself is a pointer. So you can use this way to define the array, or you can use this way to define the array. Okay, so both of them are fine to use to initialize any array. Even you can define the array this way, and then later you initialize this array as you want. Okay, so here's example. So for example, you can define the array this way, hello, and then you can play with the pointer of this array as you want. So let's see this one together. I can go to, for example, Visual Studio here and then define some array. So I can say here, for example, character. I will say here character, and then this one will be, for example, string, and this string, any array, and then this one will equal, and then I define this this string. So I will say our array of characters. I will say this is a new way to define a string. Okay, so this is a new way, and then after that I can, for example, print this one using some functions we saw before. Like you can print different ways. So for example, I can say print, and then print f, and then I will put here modula string. Okay, so I will say modula. Okay, so this one, which I don't prefer actually, but this one, okay, like this, and then you will say here string. Okay, this is the string address of this pointer. okay, and then you will this one must be printing. So let's see if this one is working fine or not. Okay, so yes, this is a new way to define a string. It works fine. Same like if you define this one using, okay, so let's call this one string 2, and then I will use string 1. So I will use the two different ways. So this is string 1, but now I will assume this one as array. Okay, so like this. So both of them are fine, and you can say here string 1 and string 2. This is the okay, this is the classic way to define a string, and this is the new way to define a string. So I can print the first one, and then after that a new line, and then I will print the second one. Okay, I will print the second one, and this one will be also, I will not forget to new line, so it will be beautiful for you to see. Okay, so here is it, and both of them are working fine. So you can print both of them, any of them. Also, the good thing about the pointer, you can play as a pointer. In the previous one, if you remember, this one is a constant pointer. That means you cannot increase or decrease this pointer, but this one here is a pointer. You can play with this pointer to change the address of the pointer. So for example, I can say here, I want to print in the string 2, I want to print, for example, plus plus. That means increase it a little bit, increase the pointer one location, and then start printing. That means it will start printing from here. So let's see if this one will work or not. Yeah, you see, there is no T here. Okay, so you can play with this one. So maybe I can say here, this one plus 2 or plus, okay, plus 5, for example. That means just move the move 5 location, and then start printing. So if you see here, yeah, this is disappear here. You say, okay, this is disappear in the second string. Okay, now this one you cannot do that for the name of the string when you are defining this way. So for example, if you try like this, it will tell you here. So let's try and run. Yes, it's working here. So for this one should be constant. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's the same idea, I guess, here. Yes, it's, I'm just putting here the parentheses that say execute this expression first and then print. Okay, so here this one plus 5, you can do this one. Okay, so this is how we can define. How about I say here 20 or 40? Okay. Yeah, if you put the size here and run, yeah, so it will be, it seems like, yeah, this is exactly pointer. So this is like a pointer, and this is the explicit way to say it's pointer. Okay, so this is how you can design this one. But for example, if you try to say here in the string 1, and then okay, string 1 plus 3, for example, this is, I'm trying to assign something for this location. So I say this one, it's a location in the character, and then I will say this one is equal 3. For example, G, I want to put this one. So it will tell you here, you cannot use this one as you cannot this one, put this one as plus 3. You cannot move this one and then say it's equal to this one. Okay, how about if I can do the same thing for okay, for string 2 here? In this case, also it will say here, this one you cannot add plus 1 to this one and then assign for this one. Okay, so you cannot increase this one and then assign to the address of this one the character J. So this is what I want true here. Okay, so it will tell you this is not acceptable. Okay, so yeah, this one here is the way to define string using pointer annotations. Okay, now Yeah, this is what we already see here in this example. So you can increase, this one here is just what's the difference between p++ and that means increase the pointer. Before you increase the pointer, just read the pointer and then increase it. Okay, so here, for example, I say print character, and that character will be character where this, in this string, where is this character point to. The pointer, it will print h. Why it will print h? So it will print the character and then increase the pointer plus plus. Okay, but in this case, if you say plus plus first, it would say, okay, you will increase the pointer first, and then the result after increase the pointer address, then print the value of the pointer. The value of the pointer will be e. Okay, so this is the difference between plus plus p and the p plus plus. So p plus plus mean just read the pointer and then increase the pointer. Here, no, increase the pointer and then read the pointer value. Okay, now let's here go to another example. Before I go to the another example, I would like to mention for you how we can, if you remember, how we can define two-dimension array, or two array of strings. So this one is just one string. Okay, this is a single string. So how we can define array of strings? Okay, so there are many strings in one array. How we can define this one? I will show you two ways to define this one. The first way is the conventional or classic way. So I can say like this. Okay, say character, and then I will say, for example, array, okay, string 1, and this array of a string, how many string inside it? It will be, for example, I have 3 string inside it. Each string, how many the size of each string will be, for example, 10 character. Okay, so this one will be the size of each element in the array, in the string, and this one the number of strings. Okay, so I can say like this, and then I will say here equal. And now I can create an array of strings. So for example, I can first array, okay, first element in the array is one string. So this one, this, and then, okay, for example, that, this is another string. So it's array of string. Or for example, those, okay, for example, like this. Okay, so this is a 3 elements, and each element size is 10 characters, but I use just 5 here, but it's okay. So maximum the length here of each string will be 10. Okay, this is the way to create array of a string, conventional or classic way. Okay, and now if you would like to access each element in the array, you will do like this. So for example, I will say print a string here, and then, okay, I will comment this one, and then I will go here, and I will say printf. Okay, printf. I will print some string, okay, modular string, and then I will print one element of this one. So I will say array string 1, and I will say element number 0. Just give me element number 0. Okay, so this is the way you can print the first string. Okay, this is the first string. So let's run. It will be this. You might ask, okay, this is the first element in the string. That means the first string. If I want to print h here, that means in this case you will use the two-dimension notation. So you will say, okay, from element 0, I mean the first string, print the character number index 1, because this one is index 0 and this one is index 1. Okay, but now this is just one character, so you need to change this one to C. Okay, so let's run here. You see, here's the h. Okay, so this is how you can use the classic way to print a string, to array of a string. Okay, so you will define this way, and then the first index is for the string element. So the string element, and this one is for the character inside the string. The character inside this string number 0. Okay, so this is how to read. How to modify? The same thing. So for example, if you'd like to modify this one, you will just say here, okay, you will say this one, for example, equal, and I will change it from h to, for example, r, like this. It's okay, you can do that. And then after that, if you print the string 0, you'll find this one changed to r. Okay, so let's see if this one is changed to r or not. Oh, it's a change. Okay, so this one array string. Sorry, this one must be string because I did not, I changed this one to string. This one must be changed to string. Okay, let's run again. You see, yeah, this one change. Okay, so this is how you can play with array of strings. Array of string. This is the first way. The second way is to use the pointer notation. So as you see here in the basic one, you create a pointer, and this pointer will point. This is the name of the pointer. How about I create array of pointers? Array of pointers. So this is just one pointer, and this pointer name is the string 2, and that pointer will point to this one. This pointer will point. How about I create array of pointer? That means I create array of string. Okay, how I can do that? So this is the second way. So I will say here character, and then I will create array of pointers. So here I will say, and then I will say array string 2. Okay, and now this is array of pointers. So I will say this one is the 3, and then equal. Okay, and then inside this one I will say the same thing. For example, let's see, I will say this one, he, comma, she, and comma, for example, you. Okay, so this is the array of, so it's a pointer. As you see, this is just one pointer, one string. One pointer, one string. Here I say array of pointers. So here is the pointer, and this is array of pointer. This is, forget about this one, it's array of pointer. Okay, how many pointer in this one? 3 pointers. Each pointer point to 1. So this is the first pointer, this is the second pointer, and this is the third pointer. Okay, each one point to 1 pointer. So how we can read this one, if we create pointer like this, how we can print the elements of this pointer, or the elements of this array? Very similar to the first one. So let's see here, I will say print, okay, printf, and then I will do the same thing. So I will, okay, let's repeat this one. So for sake of time, I will say here print, okay, array element 2, okay, array, and then element number. So this is, I'm using the first pointer, okay, this is the first pointer, okay, this is array of pointer, this is the first pointer, and this first pointer is the address of this one, okay. So let's run and see if this one is working fine. I will comment this one, and then I will just show this one. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, he is working. Okay, so this is the first element of the array. Okay, now this one is just, maybe you can go to the second element and third element. How about if I put here star? Okay, I'm passing here value of this one, okay, just the value of this pointer. This pointer, as you know, this pointer is the pointer, this one is the name of this array is the pointer which point to the beginning of the array. Beginning of the array will be letter H. So I'm saying the value of this one. Okay, so let's see if this one will work correct or not. Okay, so how about if, yes, here is it. So here, if this one is a string, so it will, the name of the array is a pointer. This pointer point to the first element in the array. First element in the array is this guy. Okay, the first element in the array is this guy, and this guy value, this is the pointer, and this is the value of the pointer. The value of the pointer will be S. How about if I say this one, before this one I say here, go here like this, okay, and then this pointer, before I go and print the value of the pointer, I say +1, okay, +1. That means I'm changing the address of this pointer, or this one, the array pointer, I'm changing this one +1. So in this case, which will go, it must go here, right? So it's the second element of the array. So let's see. She, yes, it works fine. So you see here, if we use this annotation, it will work fine. So this is the value of the address of the pointer, so address of the array, element number. So you shift the address 1, okay? That means it will go to the element number 2. Shift 1, it will go to the element number 3, okay? So if you shift like 2 here, this is the element number 0, this is the element number 1, and this is the element number 2. So let's run here and see if this one is working. Yes, it works. So What I want to say here, just to sum up this one, you can use the two notation here. You can use the pointer notation, what we learned before, or you can use the array notation. So for example, you say, I want to go to element number 0, or I want to go to element number 2. Okay, so here is the address of the array and element number 2. Element number 2 is this one. Okay, or you can use the annotation. So you say, okay, I want the value of the pointer. The value which pointer? The pointer of the array plus 2. The pointer of the array is pointing to the first element. Plus 2, that means it will point to this guy. Okay, and so both of them are equal. So this one and this one are exactly the same. If you want to see, let's run them. You see, UU. So both of them are exactly the same. Okay, so this is how you can play with the array of strings using pointer notation or using the conventional or classic way. So the classic way, you will decide here how many elements in this array, and each element, what is the size of each element. In the case of character array, you will create, okay, same like this one. This is just one pointer. I will create array of pointers, okay, and then do this one. Okay, I hope this one is clear. And can we modify the array using this pointer? The answer is yes, you can do that. So for example, let's do this one together here. I can say here, for example, this one, array element number 2, change this one to a different string. So I can say change this one, for example, to 8. Okay, and then print the array and then change it again using different notation. So I will use different notation. So I will use this notation and say this one is equal u again. Change it to u again. Okay, so for example. Okay, so let's see if this first time in the first sentence it will print it, and then in the second sentence it will print u, because you change it again back to u. You see it and then you again. Okay, you can put here anything else if you want. Okay, so this is how you can change the elements of the array of pointers using this array notation. We call this one array notation, and this one we call it pointer notation. Okay, so it's up to you. This is for reading and writing. Reading means the elements of the array, or change the elements of the array. Writing, this is writing. Okay. Okay, so we have example here. I already have this example here, the first example. So let me stop this one, and okay. And then let me activate this one, example number 1 in our slides. Okay. So in the example number 1, this is the example in the slides. We have here a different type of array, defining array in different ways. So the first way is defining as a constant. So you see here, I define array as a constant, and then another way is, okay, we have here like integer, and I have here another array name, okay, and then I have another array M1. M1 is 20 characters, and then I will assign value for these 20 characters. Okay, I think this is just to show you how many ways we can define arrays. Okay, so we can define array as a constant like this one, or we can define it like this way, classic conventional way, or we can define it this way. We don't put size. We don't put size because we know the size from initialization of the array. Okay. The other way is to define the array as, this is just different thing. This is array of characters, array of strings. Array of string, you will say here is a string, a pointer of, and this is the array. And this array has how many elements? 4 elements, okay? So this array has element number 0, element number 1, element number 2, element number 3. Okay, so this has 4 elements, but maybe you will notice here I have constant here. This is mean these elements of the array cannot be changed. Okay, you cannot change those elements. If you don't put this one here, in this case you can change elements of the array. So if you see in our example before, we change the elements of the array. But if we put here constant, in this case, this one will generate error. Okay, so this will generate. Will not work now because I'm excluding this one from compilation. But anyway, so if I include this one to compilation again, you will find this one will generate some error. Why? Because this one constant, you cannot change. If I say constant, that means this one you cannot change. Okay, you cannot change the pointer of this one, so you cannot make the plus here to change the pointer. Okay, so let's back again. So we have here constant character pointer, and this is array of strings. Now, how to print the string to the screen? I already show you the printf. The other way is to use fget as string. Fget string we saw last time in the file, to print to file. So we can put here a file and then print the string to the file, or if we put stdin, that means you will print the string to the input stream, or to the screen. Sorry, this one mean read from the keyboard. Sorry, this is a reading from get mean read from the keyboard. So this one you can read from the keyboard if you are using stdin. But if you put here file pointer, in this case you will read from the file. Okay. So, but now we are reading from keyboard. Okay, so this is how to read from keyboard. The other way is to use get s. Also, there is a get s. This one is also a way to read from a keyboard a string. So you can put here name. Okay, this is the string name, and then you read this one from. So you read this one from the keyboard. Okay, this is another way. The third way is you use a scan. Okay, you will use a scanf, and then you will scan string. So you will use scanf, and then you will read from the keyboard string. You will say here modulo s, and then you will read from the keyboard to name. Okay, so this is the third way. So there are three ways here to read the strings. Okay, read the strings from the keyboard. Okay, using fget s, and scanf. Okay, so and also you will see later, maybe you will see also get line, and this one is another way to write. We will use get line. So this one, I think this is read line. Read. We will see this one later. I forgot the name of the function, but we will see this one later. Okay, so this is how you can read from the keyboard string. Okay, so let's remove all of this stuff because we don't want to. Okay, now how to print string to the screen. We show in the previous example we can print using printf, and then we say modulo s here. The other way is to print using put s. So we will have put s again, and there is also printf. Okay, and this one you can print the same thing. For example, I want to print m1, so I will say here modulo s, and then I will say here m1. Okay, so this is the second way to print. Another way is a file. I think there is file put string. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, and file put string, and then you will put here, you will print the screen. So same thing, you will say, for example, m1, for example, and this one will be the size of m1. You want to print on the screen how many, so you will say size of. Okay, size of. Okay, size of, and then you will put the size of name. Let me just put this one again, size of the name, and then where you will put this one to std out. Okay, std out means the screen. Okay, this is the stream of the screen. This is for the screen. Okay, so this is the three way to print a string to the screen. This three way. Okay, so you can use any of them. Okay, so we will see this, some of them during the examples later. Okay, so here I print the screen m1, I print the screen m2. This is just to show you how to handle the strings. Also, how to read the array of a string. So to array of a string, you will say, okay, make a loop, and you will read elements of the string like this way. I think this is clear because this is array of string. This is the print element number 0, element number 1, element number 2. So it will make a loop from 0 to 2. 3 will not be included, okay, because this one is a 3. So less than 3, that means 0, 1, 2. So it will print element 0, element 1, element 2, okay. So this one all will print in the screen. Okay, so let me just show you the output of this one. So what's your name? And I will say here Tamer. Click enter. This is how to read it from the keyboard, and say hello Tamer, and then it will print the second screen. So it will print the first one, M1. M1 is hello, and then Tamer. Okay, so this is hello Tamer. This is M1, and then it will print after that. M1. Where is M1? M1, you are a student. So M1 is you are students. Okay, this is the M1. And then it will print after that M2. M2 is you are 20 years old. Here is it. You are 20 years old. And then it will print after that it will print message 1. So message 1. Message 1 is up here. Message a man with courage is a majority. Okay, and your favorite quote is. Your favorite quote is where? Oh yeah, here's it. So you will say put and then your favorite quote is, and then you will put the quote. Okay, the quote is message 1. Message 1 is this one. Okay, and then after that you will make a loop and say your hobbies are, and then print the elements of the array. So the elements of the array is sky, and then new string programming, new string watching TV. It's new string do nothing. Okay, so this is how this software is working. Okay, hopefully this is clear. This is just to show you how we can define strings and then how we can handle array of strings. Okay, so now let's go to yeah, this is just here. If you define how to define array, you can say you can define array this way. So you can say greetings, and this is like a concatenation way. Hello, annyeong, salam, and this is also same way. You can do that. So this one and this one are equal. So both of them are equal. So this one and this one are okay. So those are just one string. So this is one string. This is one string. So this string has no comma between them. No comma, that means this is just one string. Okay. So this is one string, and this one will be equal, the equivalent for this one. Also, you can define string using array of character this way. So A, B, C, D, it will be just one string. Okay. And now how we can access elements of the string. As you know, the name of the string is a pointer. So you can say here pointer M1. M1 here is the pointer for the value of this pointer. The value of this pointer equal exactly the same like M1 0. So if you want to read the first element here, you will say star M1, and or you can say M1 0. It's up to you. Use this way or use this way. Okay. Okay. So M1 here. It's equal the address of M1 0. So M1 or the name of the I already mentioned this one. The name of the string, is just pointing to the first element in the array. So this address of the first element is exactly the same like the address of the name of the array. Okay, so both are exactly the same. Okay, so yeah, you can even verify this one by yourself. So I can say here, okay. Okay, so for example, I have array. Okay, I don't want a lot of printing, so you will not be confused. Okay, if we go to source here, and then in the source, okay, let's just check if everything is okay. Yes, everything is okay. Okay, here, if you say, for example, in the, let's go to the first string here. So I can say here print and printf, and I will say here, for example, modular modular P, okay, modular P. That means the address, print address. And then I will say here, in this address, what I want to print. I want to print, for example, from this string, string 1, okay, string 1. I will say string 1 address of this element number 0. So I just want the address of the first element. And then at the same time, I will just say print address of string, the address of the array, okay? So the address of the array. So here is the address of element 0 and address of the array. So let's see if they are equal or not equal. You see, they are, okay, let me just put, so it will not be confusing for you. New line and this one a new line, so you can see both of them. Okay, so here's it, exactly the same. So the name of the array or the name of the string and the first element in the string or the first character in the string are exactly the same. So exactly the same. So anyway, first element in the array is the name of the array, will be same. Okay, so this one and this one are exactly same. Okay, so hopefully this one is clear for you. Okay, defining the string, we saw this way and this way. So you can define the array in these two ways. So pointer notation or using string notation, array of character notation. But by the way, you cannot define a string without decide the size of the string if you don't initialize the string. So if you initialize, then in this case, no need for the size of the array or size of the string, okay? But if you don't give the value, what is this string equal? In this case, you have to put the size of the array or the size of the string, okay? So be careful about this one. The number here must be in the case you don't make initialization. If you make initialization this way, in this case, no need for the size. Okay, another thing, yeah, here, when we define array, what is the difference when we define array in the case of as a pointer or a string as a pointer notation or as array notation? So what is the difference between these both? So the difference is, we can see the difference here. If we say this one, you would say, for example, put characters and you go loop and then print all characters of array A. So you will put this way, this is okay. And for B will be same. Okay, so this one and this one are same. Okay, and now if you put the a pointer notation, you say, for example, loop in A and then increase the pointer by 1 every time and then print the value of the pointer. This will be okay. And also will be okay for B. Okay, now let's go to the this notation. If you see here star A, that means the value, if the value of the pointer is not equal null, that means it's not the int. In this case, print the character and then print the value of the pointer and then increase the pointer 1. Increase the pointer 1 after you print the value of the pointer. So this one will print all elements or the string, the whole string. And this one here, if you say while this pointer is not equal null, put the character and then increase this one. So this one here will generate the whole string of this one. Let's try this one together. So I will try with you this one together. So if you use this way, okay, so I will define in the source, here is the source, okay, I will define, I'm defining here a string, array of string, and then after this one, I am, okay, before, let me comment this one. Later you can check this one by yourself. So I'm putting comment because I will share this code with you at the end of the class, okay? So let's see here, how about if I do like this? I will say, for example, for this string, okay, the name of the string, I will put it here, okay? If it's not equal null, so I go character by character, okay? And then I will say here, go until the null character, and then print the string value, the pointer value +1. It will tell you here, you cannot increase the string pointer. You cannot do that. You cannot increase the string pointer. Okay, plus plus will not work here. Plus plus will not work. So this one will not work. But in the case of the pointer, it will work fine without any problem. Okay, so you cannot increase the plus plus, you cannot increase the pointer of this one. Okay, and now another thing is in the case of the if you define as a pointer notation, if you define the string as a pointer notation, in this case you can say a point to b. That means a start not pointing to this one, start pointing to b. That's okay. But I cannot say p start pointing to a. No, you cannot do that. Okay, so again, let's see here this one together. So this one will not work, okay? But in the case of string 2, it will work fine. So let's see here string 2, this one is string 2. No problem. This one worked fine without any error, okay? So this one is okay. Another thing is you cannot, okay, you can say here, for example, string, okay, you can say string 2 now is pointing to string 1. I changed my mind. So now string 2 is pointing to string 1. So now string 2 is not equal to this one. No, anymore. It's equal to this one. That's fine. And if you want to see, you can see this one. So let's print what it will be this one. You see, this is the classic way of defining. Okay, so this is the classic way. This, okay, let's hide this printing so you will not be confusing you. Okay, now if you run, this is the classic way to define a string. If you see this one, if you don't put this one, in this case it will print. This is the new way to define. So if you see here, this is the new way to define a string. Okay, so that means I can move the pointer anywhere I want. I can make this pointer of this string 2 to point to anywhere I want. Okay, but can we do this one the same if we have this one? No, you cannot say, for example, string 1, okay, string 1 now is equal to string 2. I change my mind. I say, okay, string 1 is now pointing to string 2. No, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. String 1 is a static pointer, constant pointer. Constant pointer, that means this pointer cannot be increased and this pointer cannot point to another place. Okay, so you cannot do this one. This is the difference between this way and this way of defining a string. This is the most important difference. You cannot apply plus plus for the case of this way, and you cannot also make this string name of the string to point to another string. You cannot do that. Okay, but it's possible if you are using the pointer notation. Okay, hopefully this one is clear about the difference between the defining this way and defining this way. So the conclusion from this one is that pointer way is more flexible comparing to array notation. So if you define a string using pointer notation, is more powerful than array notation. So this one, you see, this is not available, but in this one it's available. Okay, another thing is that this is for multi-dimension array. I already talked about this multi-dimension array and how to handle what is the difference between hobby 0 and the hobby star. Hobby 0, will be the first element in the element 0, okay? And also this is you can also say hobby 0 is exactly the address of the first element inside hobby 00. That means this element S, the S here is the address of the first element inside this array. I already talked about this one when I explained the two-dimensional array or the array of a string. Okay, hopefully this is clear. Now, what is the difference if we define array of a string in? So I showed you before, we defined the array of a string in two ways. I defined the array of a string this way, the classic way, and I defined the array of a string this way. So what is the difference between them? So the difference between them in the memory. So let's see what is the difference between them. If you define this way, like array notation way, in this case, all elements of the array will be equal size. So every element in the array will be 6 characters. Okay, every element. Even if high is a small, just 2 characters, it will take 6 characters. That means this one will consume more memory. But in the case of, I say character, and then I will say pointer notation, and then I will say, okay, just 2 elements. That means this, I create an array of 2 pointer. The first pointer point to this one, the second pointer point to hello. So in this case, you will consume less amount of memory. The first pointer will point to hi with null character at the end, and the second pointer will point to hello. Okay, so they will be different size. Okay, so this one, the array notation will consume more memory. The pointer notation for array of string will consume less amount of memory. So this is the difference between these 2 ways for array of strings. Okay, now as you know, we already mentioned this one before. Scanf is to read string, so we can use scanf to read a string. Also, we can use fget for reading a string. Also, we can use yeah, this one. Yeah, the scanf here, if you would like to, scanf will read 1 string, but if you want this string to stop after 3 characters or stop after 5 characters, you can say modula, and then you say the size of the string. What is the size you want to read? So it will read for you here 3 characters only. So it will read 3 characters and then stop. So it will read string of 3 characters. If you put 5, it will read a string of 5 characters. If you don't put just modula s, in this case it will read a string until you click enter. When you click enter, it stops reading. Okay. Fget, this one also works same like scanf. It will read until you click enter. When you click enter, it will stop reading. Okay, this is the fget. Now let's go to the put. How to print string on the screen. You can print string on the screen using put s. So the put s will, you can put the string directly in the put s. You can put a constant string. You can put a string which defined as array notation. You can use array notation string. You can use pointer notation string, and even you can put in the here, you give the address of the pointer from where you want to start print the string on the screen. So here I say start from address of the element number 5 in the string. Element number 5 in string 1. So element number 5, this one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means start from here. So it will start printing from this here. So it will start printing from Ray was initialized. Ray was initialized. So this is here. Or you can put pointer address. So you say string 2 plus 4. That string 2 is the address of the first element. But I say plus 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So plus 4. So it will start from I. Enter was initialized. So it will print enter was initialized to me. Okay, so let's see this example. This is example number 2. Let's play with this example in the slides here. Okay, so example number 2. Okay, so here's the example. You can see here, or even you can see here from address this one. This is like a print from address of string 1, or even you can see here. How about if you say like this, string add string 1 plus 5. Is it the same results? Let's see this one together. Yeah, same results. You can do this one. So you say Ray was initialized to me. Okay, so this is possible. You can use this way. Okay, because the address of the array, address of the name of the array is the address of the first character in the array. So plus 5, that means starting from this character and then start printing. Okay, so same thing for the pointer array. You can do that. Okay, so this one is working fine. And as you see here, I am this one defined a string, and here is it, the first one. Okay. Sorry, the first one is this one. Okay, I am argument to put. Okay, this is the first string. Directly you put a string, or you can print string from constant string, or you can print the string from just array of characters, or you can print the string from pointer string, and also you can control from where this print start printing. Okay, from which address? You put address here, and from that address it will start printing. Okay, so this is about the output of the string. Okay, you can even define your own function for printing the string. So here I define, so I see here this, I define some put2, and this put2 receive a pointer of a string, that means address. This one receive address, and this address is a constant address. So I receive address, and it will do what? It will make a while loop, and in this while loop, it will check until the null pointer. Until the null pointer print character by character. So it will print a string plus, so a string, the value of the address, and then increase the address +1, and then go next. In the next loop, it will print the next character because this is a pointer. So value of that pointer, and the pointer increase +1 every time. The pointer increase +1, and you print the value of that pointer. Okay, the value of that pointer is the character inside the string. Okay, and then increase the counter. This counter will count how many times you loop, you make a loop. So you will keep this loop. This loop will run until this one mean it point to null. If it point to null, this loop will go out, and then it will print a new line, and then it will return for you how many times you do the loop. How many times you do the loop, that means how many characters inside this array. Okay, so this one, let's see this example number 3, and I will play with this example a little bit. Okay, so let's go here, say yes, okay, and then go to example 3, include it, not exclude. Okay, and then if you see here, I define put2, I put some prototype for this function, and then I use this function here. So I say here print put2, I use put2 for printing string 1, and then put2 for string 2. So here this is address, this is address. So this address will arrive to here as address. Okay, why? Because this is a pointer. That means this is address of the array. Okay, address of the string. Address of the string will arrive. That means this one will come here, and this one will come here. Okay, so the address, and then this one here make a loop, and in this loop print character by character. So print on the screen character by character. Okay, and then increase the counter. Okay, the counter, as how many times this counter run, it will tell you how many character in this array. So you might ask here, what is this one exactly? This one is exactly equal to this one. So this is exactly equal to this one. So I say here the value of the pointer is not equal null. If the value of the pointer is not equal null, do this one. But if it's equal null, go out. So as soon as, so here this one, that means keep the loop until you reach null. If you reach null, this loop will stop. Okay, so this is equal to this one. So until this condition is true, keep running. So until the value of the pointer is not equal null, that means still you are printing characters of the string, just go and print the character of the string. Until if this one is equal to this one, and then stop, go out of the loop. So let's see, if I put here, so put here retains some number value. So this number value I will print as a digit here. So inside this function, when I call this function, it will print the character of the, it will print on the screen the character of the string, and then after this function finish, it will retain one digit. It will retain one digit, okay? This digit retain, I will print as the length of the string. Okay, so let's see if this one is working. So here is it. An array was initialized to me. This is the first string printed. And then string 1 length equal 31 character. Okay. And then I print put2 string 2. So put2 string 2, this will be string 2 printed using put2. And then the length of the string will be 32 characters. Okay. So here's it. The length of the string 2 will be 32 characters. Okay, so this is working fine. If you want to play with this one, define your own print on the screen function, okay, for the string. Okay, now let's go to the functions of the string. So functions which are already there inside std function library, and those functions like string concatenate, string length, and there are many functions, string compare. So I will go in those, all of those, using one code here. So let's go and see all of them here. So I will go to string functions and see how we can use some functions available inside the C programming language or inside stdio library. So inside this one, there are many functions you can use. So here is it. Let's see the first function. I have this array or this string, and then I have this string. There are two strings here. Okay, and then I say here string concatenate. String concatenate, that means attach these two strings to one string. So what this one do? This one take this string 2 and then attach it to string 1. Take this one and attach it to string 1. Then after that I print string 1. So I will print string 1 and show you what is the string 1 is doing. So let me just okay, so let's see the first thing. I will go step by step to all the functions inside the slides. So this one here, I say string concatenate, that means concatenate string 2 to string 1, and then I will print string 1. So let's see what will be inside string 1. So let's run this one and see what it will be inside. Okay, so there is a function before this one. The string length and then digit, some digit, and these digits coming from str means string len. String len, you give the string to the string len, and this string len will calculate for you how many characters inside this string. And this one will tell you how many characters inside string 1. Okay, and this is a string compare. So this is the first one, and then after that, this is what I told you. So let's execute this one again one more time. Here is it. The string length is equal 31 character. So this one include 31 characters. Okay, now let's go to that string 1. What happened to the string 1 here? String concatenate will add this one to this one. So the total string 1 will be this one. You see, very long. So it will be array was initialized to me, and then concatenate to it, and array with pointer was initialized to me. Okay, so they concatenate. Now, if after that, if you would like to print what is the size of string 1 now, you will find the string 1 now change, the size is change. So let's see the size of the string 1. It's 75, became 75 characters. Why? Because you concatenate string 1 to string 2. Okay, so this is usually for concatenation, this one will be added to this one. Now, in this string concatenate, you can say, I don't want from string 2 everything. I just want the first 2 characters. So, okay, I will say here 2 characters only. So add the first 2 characters to string 1. So let's see if this one, how it will happen here. You see here, and okay, let me just close. Okay. Yeah, so this is like OR operation. Until there is a null, or you have like 2 characters. If there is no null, just copy this one. So how about I say this one here, 40, okay, 40, but there is no 40 characters in string 2, so it will copy only string 2 without this 40. So this is the meaning of this one. Yeah, it will do like this. But if the number is less than the size of string 2, it will not ignore this one. So for example, if I say here like 10 characters, I want to just copy 10 characters, it will ignore this one. Yeah, so it's ignoring. Okay, so it will, if the number I put here is less than the string 2, in this case it will ignore it. But if it's more, it will just copy the string 2. Okay. So this is for concatenate. Okay, next function. So what is the next function? So I will close this one and then I'll go to the next function. So the next function is a string compare. I want to compare two strings. So I can say compare here string 1 and string 2. If they are equal, string compare will retain 0. If they are not equal, it will retain positive or negative number. How? It will compare character by character. If this character with this character, it will compare. And if this character is before this character, in this case, it will retain negative number. But if it's after this character, in this case, it will retain positive number. So it will compare the character by character, and it will compare the ASCII letter of the character with the ASCII value of this character. Okay, the ASCII value of this character with the ASCII. So if they are equal, the result of this one will be 0. So for example here, let me check. String compare string 1 and string 2. So they are not equal. So let's see if they are equal or not equal. Yes, string are not equal. Okay, but I can do here some other thing. I say compare from string 1 and string 2, compare only the first, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters. So compare the first 8 characters only. So if you see here, the first 8 characters are equal. If they are equal, so the value will be 0. The string compare will equal 0, and they will say strings are equal. So let's see this one. Yes, strings are equal. Okay, so this is how you can compare two strings using string compare. Okay. Now, next function. What is the next function? So the next function is string copy. So string copy here, you will copy. So for example, if I have a string 3 and this string 3 is empty, it's just 200 character, I will copy from string 1 to string 3, from string 1 to string 3. How many you want to copy? I want to copy 80 characters, for example. Okay, I want to copy 80 characters. So let's see. And then after that, I print string 3. So let's see what will be inside string 3 after the copy. So this one is string and copy. And mean how many number you want, how many characters you want to copy from string 1. So string 1 will copy from string 1 and give to string 3. So let's see. Yes, the array was initialized to me. Okay, so it's copying from string 1 to string 3. Okay, so this is the string copy. Okay, let's go more and see more functions. So more functions we will have here. Okay, let's just okay, here we have we will create some pointer, and then here we will say string search. So the search string for character. So this is search character. So search character. So I will search in this string about character Y. If the Y character is available, it will not return null. But if it's the character Y exists, it will make a pointer, and that pointer will point to the character, to that character. And if you print the pointer value, you will see the pointer value will be the character Y. Okay, because so it will search inside the string, and if it found the character, it will create pointer, and that pointer will point to that character. Okay, so let's see this one together. I will run this one. So I'm searching inside string 1 for the character Y. So let's see if there is Y. Yes, there is Y here. So I will search. Yes, and it will print the character Y. Why? Because I say put character of the value of the pointer. Value of the pointer. But the pointer is not null anymore. The pointer now equal the Y. Y equal Y because I say search character retain pointer address to retain the address of the character Y inside the string. Okay, so this one will print Y. How about if I look for a character and this character does not exist? So for example, let's see some character which does exist. I think there is no B here. Yeah, there is no B. So let's print, say search for B. Okay, so let's run. It will return null, and you see null is not exist. So null, and if you make a null, in this case, null is nothing. Okay, so there is nothing. Okay, so this is null. Okay, and you will see when so if this one is null, in this case, this one this if statement will not work, and if this statement not work, in this case it will not print, just to reprint a new line. That's it. Okay, this one will never run. Why will never run? Because the P is not exist, and if the P is not exist, that means this one is equal null. This one equal null, that means it will not run this statement. Okay, hopefully this one is clear. So this is about search character. How about another function? So let's see another function. Search, I will find another function, search string. Search string. So search string, it will search for a string. So I say search in string 1 for was. Is there any was? And it will tell you if it's not equal not. So this is the same thing. If I found was, it will return pointer. That pointer will point to the first character of was. Then after that, I would say, okay, print screen starting from this address. Starting from this address, it will print was and continue. This is string. Okay, so let's try. Yes, was initialized to me. So this one, because I found was. Okay, so if I found was, it will return pointer from where is was started. Where is was, and then from there I print the rest of the string. Okay, so this will be good. For example, if you say I want to print from specific sentence, from a specific word. So from a specific word, I start printing. So this will be okay. Use this way. Okay, so what we have learned so far: string, search string, and then search character, and also we talk about string compare, and we talk about string concatenate, and then string length. Okay, so all of this one is here and listed here, and you can read about them. Some of them need some number here. You can put some number as I show you. Like for example, copy. I want to copy specific number. Okay, here I want to compare specific characters, specific size. Here I want to concatenate specific, and I already show you this one. Okay. Okay, the last thing for the lecture for today is the convert string to number. I can convert string to number using stdlib library. In this stdlib library, there is functions 80. This one mean this one I will convert to integer. So I say here a string to integer, and this one to integer, and this one to integer. So you can convert to integer. So there is here a convert string to integer. If you say to I mean to integer, there is to float, and there is to long. Okay, so there are many to functions to convert numbers from a string. So as you see here, this is a string. You convert this string to number. Okay, and then print it as a number. So let's see this one together in the example here. And this will be our last example for today about string. So last example number 5. Oh, it's not last one, before the last. So the last one is about dictionary, so we will talk about this one later. Okay, so here if you see, this is to integer or to float. Even I can make to float. So here I will be float, and then I will say to float, and this one will be 5, for example, like this, and this one to float. Okay, so there is to float, to integer, to long, to, I think there are several type, to long. Okay, there is to integer, to long, to long. Okay, so this is the functions available inside the library stdlib. Okay, so okay, if you see here, let's run this one and see what this one will print for us. Here is it, to float. If you see, this is to float, and this one you have 100, so it will convert this one to 100, and then it converted to integer, and then plus 25, so it will be 125, and then I will print 125. Okay, this one here I so if you see here, say to integer, and it will convert 13, and then after that there is x. So if you found any character after that, it will ignore. So anything, even if there is a number there, no, it will ignore. So it will, but how about if I put character here? So if I put x here, it will convert? No, it will not convert. Okay, so let's see this one. So if it found string at the beginning, it will not convert, it will generate 0. Okay, it will not convert. So it must be, for this function to work, the string start by number. Must start by number. If it does not start by number, it will not convert. It will generate 0. Okay, so, and for example, if I put here g, so if you run, it will generate 0. Okay, so let's see here, 0. Why? Because it starts, so that this function say you must start by number. If you put the characters at the end, it will ignore this character. It's okay. So for example, if I put like this, it will work fine without any problem. Okay, and it will ignore the g here. Okay, so this is how to convert string to number. Okay, last thing about string is how to use array of structure. Okay, so you will have a string, and this string is as a structure. So for example, here I will have a structure, and this structure has two string where first string is word and the second string is definition. So I will use array of structure. So array of structure, so each element in the array will be one structure. So each element in the array will be one structure. So here is it. The first element in the array is one structure. That structure contains two strings. First string and second string. So here, first string and second string. The second element in the array is also a one structure. Okay, this is one structure. Sorry, it will be starting from here. Okay, so this is one structure. So this is like this. Okay, this is one element, and this element is one structure. This one here is another element. Okay, so I can color them so you will be easy for your eyes to see this one. Okay, and okay, and so on. So this is will be like this and red color. Okay, so this is the elements of the array. So this is array, and this array is not array of integer, it's array of structure. Okay, it's array of structure. Okay, and this structure, so the initialize this array, the first structure element will be, this is one structure element. Okay, this one is one element. Okay, this is one element, and that element contain two string. Why it contain two string? Because look here, the structure element, inside the structure there are two string. Okay, so here is it, first string, second string. The first string will go to word, and the second string will go to definition. Okay, and then the second string, and so on, so on, so forth. So this one is the array of structure, and inside each structure there are two string. Hopefully this will be easy for you and it will not be confusing. So this is the as you know, inside array of structure, if you have elements, you will access, so if you want the first element, if you, for example, you have here the first element in this one, for example, dictionary element number 0. Element number 0 is a one entry, and that entry has two things, dot, and you can say dot word, and dot word, it will give you this one. Okay, dot word, element number 0. Dot definition. Okay, so in this case, dot definition, this one will give you this one. Okay, that's it. This is about array of structure. So here we have defined this array of structure, and then in the main function, I create, for example, one string, and then I say 10 entry. 10 entry is this one, just number, is a constant number, so just number 10, because I have here 10 elements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 elements. Okay, so there are 10 elements in this here. So I get 10 entry, and then this is the value entry, and then I will say enter the word. So I ask you enter the word, and then I will wait from the keyboard to enter some word. And if you give me the word, I will take this word and then give this word to a function, and this function will look up. for this word. So this function receive the dictionary. That means it will receive the array, this array, the big array. This one is the dictionary. The big array, it will receive the dictionary, and this function will receive the single word you inserted, and it will receive the size of the array. The size of array is 10. This array is 10 elements. And it will search inside this dictionary. If it found the word, it will retain for you, the index of that element in the array. The index of that element. Which index? If it cannot found, it will retain for you -1. So if I say, if the entry, if this one is equal -1, that means I could not find the word you are looking for. I could not find, okay, inside. If it's not equal -1, if it's not equal to -1, I will retain dictionary element you are looking for definition. Okay, so the element definition for this word. Else I will print for you, I could not find this word. Okay, if it's equal -1. So what is the lookup function work? How the lookup functions work? The lookup function is very easy. It receives array of structure, and it will receive one string, and it will receive the size of the dictionary or the array, size of the array. And it will go in a loop, and it will compare, string compare. You see string compare here? I will compare the word you give. It will compare this word with the dictionary element I dot word. So that dictionary element to I, so it will go element by element in the array, and check the word. If the word is equal to this word, it will retain the index of that element in the array. Which element? Else it will return -1. Okay, so here is the example. Let's run this example together, and this is our last example for today class. Okay, so let's say yes for this one, and let's go to example 5. Again, I will share all of this code, and you can play with this code by yourself later. Okay, so here's the example. Here is the structure, and then here is the array. I define this array outside of the main function. That's okay, no problem. I can define this array outside of the main function. Okay, and then after that, I define the function prototype, lookup function, and this function is receiving array and receiving string, and it receives the size of the array. Okay, and then here is the main function. I will ask you for one word to look up for this word. So I will search for a word, ahoy. For example, I will search ahoy, and it will return for me, it's a nautical call for greeting. It's a greeting word, ahoy. So let's see, run this one. And then I will say here, ahoy, and it will tell me a nautical, okay, call of a greeting. Okay, but how about if I search for some word which does not exist here? So in this dictionary, I will search for word, for example, hello, for example. It will tell this word hello is not in my dictionary. Okay, it will print this sentence for you. The word hello, which is there, the word hello is not in the dictionary. Okay, so this is how this one is working. So yeah, a jar means partially open. So this one is a word exists in the dictionary. Here is it. Okay, hopefully this one is clear for you. So this is just a practice about how to create a dictionary, and that dictionary, or how to create array, and this array contain structure elements, and those structure elements are strings. Okay, strings, and then you will use a string compare to compare the word you inserted from the keyboard with the words of this dictionary. Okay, the words of this dictionary, and if you found it, you will retain the index of that element in the array, element in the dictionary, and very simple. You just put that index, the index you receive, you will put it here in the dictionary. It will return for you the element of the dictionary, and from that element, it's the element of the element of the array. The element of the array is a structure. That structure has definition. So I will print the definition of that element of the array. Okay? Yeah, hopefully this is clear for you. And by doing that, we reach to the end of today's class. So in today's class, we learn how to define a string using pointer notation. And also we show today how we can define an array of strings using pointer notation. And also we saw today several functions for a string. So like string compare, string concatenation, string length, string searching for the string keywords. And also today we saw how we can create array, and this array contains structure, and that structure contains strings, and how we can handle this one. So you can use this string. Strings are very important to handle in any software, because usually users are input some string into the software, and we need to handle these input strings. Also we saw today how we can read strings and convert those strings to numbers. So for example, if the user inserts some string, I will convert this string to number and use those number inside my software to do some calculations. Okay, that's it for today class. Thank you, and we'll see you next week with a new topic in C programming.